#SEAN Combs, The Reckoning. The screen sits in complete darkness. A haunting piano melody drifts through the silence before cutting abruptly. Quick flashes, strobe lights, champagne cascading like waterfalls, diamond-encrusted medallions catching light as they swing through smoky clubs, then nothing but silence. Narrator Alexandria Stapilition. Her voice is measured, commanding, intimate asterisk. Power isn't inherited by everyone. Some people claw their way up from nothing, building empires with bare hands and ruthless ambition. But every fortress has cracks in its foundation. For Sean Combs, those cracks formed the moment he entered this world. Grainy home video flickers to life. A toddler in an oversized suit stands beside a gleaming Cadillac. His father, Melvin Combs, leans against the hood, smiling, confident, unaware that his life would soon be cut short over a drug debt. The image freezes. A blood-red title card slashes across the screen, SEAN Combs, The Reckoning. JANICECOMBS. Archival interview, voice trembling with decades-old pain. After Melvin was killed, I became everything to that child. Mother, father, protector. But how do you shield a baby from the truth of violence, from poverty, from a world that doesn't want you to succeed? Childhood friend Tim Patterson. Sitting in a weathered Harlem barbershop, staring into the middle distance. Miss Janice, she tried her best, but those parties she threw, man, they were wild. I'm talking models everywhere, dealers doing business in broad daylight, music so loud the windows rattled. And little Sean, he'd sit on those stairs in his Spider-Man pajamas, watching everything. Not playing, not sleeping, just absorbing, learning. That's when I saw it in his eyes, this hunger, this need to be somebody. The camera moves through decades. Photographs dissolve into each other. Harlem streets, graffiti-covered walls, children playing handball against brick buildings. Narrator. By the time Sean Combs arrived at Howard University, he wasn't just another student. He was a force of nature wrapped in an oversized sweater, dancing at parties like his life depended on it. Already he was the loudest person in every room, commanding attention without asking for it. ANDREHARELL. Archival audio asterisk. This kid walks into my office at Uptown Records, no appointment, pure audacity, and tells me, I'm the future of this business. Most people, I'd laugh them out. But Puff, something about him made you believe every word. He had this energy that was almost electric. You couldn't ignore him even if you wanted to. Footage of young Sean at Howard parties, networking, always moving, always working the room. His eyes scan every face like he's calculating value. Mark Curry. Former bad boy artist, staring directly into camera with hardened expression. People call Puff a genius, and he is, but genius without conscience, that's dangerous. He looked at artists like chess pieces, valuable only as long as you served the game. The second you stopped being useful, you were gone, replaced, forgotten. Narrator. But before the empire could rise, it would be baptized in tragedy. The screen shifts to news footage. Chaos, screaming, ambulances with flashing lights, bodies on stretchers being rushed through crowds. News anchor. Archival footage. Tragedy tonight at City College as 9 people have been killed in a stampede at a celebrity basketball charity event organized by Sean Combs and Heavy D. Kirk Burroughs asterisk. Co-founder of Bad Boy Records, reading from yellow journal pages, hands shaking. 3:47 in the morning. The phone rings, it's Sean, he's screaming, Kirk, they're going to destroy me, they're going to blame me for everything, we need to fix this. Now, I spent the next 72 hours putting out fires, paying lawyers, talking to families, making calls to people who could make problems disappear, whatever it took to keep Sean's name clean. Dr. Melissa Harrisberry asterisk. Cultural critic. The City College tragedy was a pivotal moment. 9 people lost their lives, but Sean Combs walked away largely unscathed. That taught him a dangerous lesson that with enough money and connections, accountability becomes optional. Uptown Records fires him. The screen shows a young Combs leaving the building, head down but eyes burning with determination. Narrator. Most people would have crumbled. Sean Combs got angry, and that anger, he channeled it into something unstoppable. Montage of Sean making calls, meeting with Clive Davis, signing papers. Within months, he transforms a $60 million Arista deal into Bad Boy Records. Grainy studio footage. A young notorious BIG sits in a chair, massive frame relaxed but eyes sharp. Sean stands behind him, hands on his shoulders like a kingmaker. SEANCOMBS. Archival footage. We gone take over the world, BIG this is just the beginning. Capricorn CLARK. Former bad boy executive, voice breaking. Even in those early days, Puff controlled everything. Your schedule, your money, your relationships, your thoughts. You didn't work for Puff Daddy, you belonged to him. There was no separation between your life and his vision for you. RODNEYLAL Rod Jones *. Playing shaky phone footage showing Diddy in a robe screaming at staff, veins popping in his neck. He could smile for the cameras at 7 p.m. and have you crying by 7:05. It was always about who he could break, who he could mold, who he could own. Narrator. Soft, almost sympathetic. Pain shaped him, love, that was just another tool in his arsenal. Fade to black, Tupac's voice echoes through darkness. TUPACSHAKUR. Archival audio *. Puffy got the East locked down, but watch your back. The beat drops hard, 90s hip-hop rattles the speakers. White suits, champagne spraying in slow motion, Biggie's album release party. The energy is electric, dangerous, intoxicating. Narrator. By the mid-90s, Puff Daddy was king of hip-hop, but every king makes enemies, and wars, they always start with whispers before the bullets fly. Former Crips affiliate Big U *. Gold teeth glinting as he speaks. Puff paid us good money to protect Biggie, but he also paid us to intimidate West Coast artists, to send messages, to make people think twice. Same money, different jobs. We were his soldiers whether we realized it or not. Footage of the Quad Studios shooting, Tupac bleeding on the lobby floor, police tape, chaos. Greg Kading. Retired LAPD detective, sitting in a sparse office. We pulled texts from devices connected to Puffy's old phones, messages like handle it quiet and make sure this goes away. He knew what was happening. He may not have pulled the trigger, but he knew. The screen goes dark except for a date glowing in white, March 9, 1997. Unreleased bodycam footage, Peterson Automotive Museum. A black Suburban riddled with bullets. Sean Combs on his knees beside the vehicle, crying, seemingly devastated. Greg Kading. Cold matter of fact. He called his publicist before he called 911. Think about that. His best friend is dying in that truck and his first thought is damage control. Pure theater. VOLETTA Wallace *. Biggie's mother, tears streaming down her face. Sean promised me justice. He promised me answers. Instead, he put out Hypnotize 3 weeks later and made millions off my son's death. He turned my baby's murder into a business opportunity. Kirk Burroughs *. Reading from his diary again, voice barely above a whisper. 2 weeks after Biggie's funeral, Sean wired $50,000 to contacts in Los Angeles. In the notes section, he wrote 2 words, loose ends. I'll be sure. Voice low and haunted. Puff's lifestyle wasn't a party, it was a trap. Once you stepped inside his world, he owned your soul. There was no escape clause, no exit strategy. You were his until he decided you weren't useful anymore. The music shifts, soft R&B plays as photographs of a young Cassie Ventura appear, smiling, innocent, unaware of what's coming. Narrator. After Biggie died, Diddy's star burned brighter than ever, but in his world, love became his favorite weapon, and his victims, they never saw it coming. Nightclub footage, gunfire, chaos, people running and screaming. Mark Curry. That nightclub shooting? Puff planted that gun on Shine. Let a kid take the fall, spend 10 years in prison, also the king could walk free. Shine was loyal to him, and that's how Puff repaid that loyalty. Capricorn CLARK. Tears streaming down her face. He put a gun to my temple, drove me to Kid Cudie's house, made me watch as they set his Porsche on fire. The whole time he's whispering in my ear, this is what happens when people disobey me. This is the message Cassie needs to understand. I was terrified. I thought I was going to die that night. Don Richard. Former Danity Kane member. I saw the bruises on Cassie's arms, on her legs, places she thought she could hide them. And Puff, he'd kiss her forehead in front of everyone and whisper, "It's love, baby, this is what love looks like." but it wasn't love, it was ownership, it was control, it was terror disguised as affection. Ubry a day why. Hollow voice staring past the camera. I woke up sore, confused, with no memory of the previous night. For years I convinced myself I had just drunk too much. But eventually someone told me the truth, told me what Diddy had done, that he'd drugged me. And the worst part, I still don't remember. That's how complete his control was. He could violate you and erase even your memory of it. Rodney Jones asterisk. Showing phone footage of hidden cameras in ceiling corners. He had cameras everywhere, every room, every hallway, every private moment. He'd laugh about it, call it his insurance policy. He was collecting leverage on everyone around him. Narrator. She wasn't his girlfriend, she was his prisoner, and the whole world watched without seeing. Dramatic hotel hallway security footage. Diddy paces in a robe, phone pressed to his ear, agitated. Diddy. To his lawyer Mark Agnifil. The narrative slipping. Social media is killing us. Every day there's a new accusation, a new story. Get me someone who's handled dirty business before, someone who knows how to make problems disappear. Diddy. To his crisis management team. I want to fight for my life here, not guilty. We're going not guilty on everything, but we're losing the PR war, and that's just as important as the legal battle. He slams his fist on the table when informed about Don Richards' lawsuit. Diddy. Another one, goddamn, how many more are coming? Narrator. The lawsuits began like a flood breaking through a dam. First Cassie in 2023, her allegations painting a picture of years of abuse and control. Then Joy Dickerson-Neal. Then Lisa Gardner, then Rodney Jones, then Don Richard. One after another, the accusations piled up. Courtroom clerk asterisk. Reading from legal documents. Plaintiff alleges a pattern of physical abuse, sexual coercion, forced drug use, and imprisonment spanning multiple years. Gigolo Clyton HOWARD. Calm but chilling. 8 years I worked those free coughs. Days long, sometimes 72 hours straight. Baby oil by the gallon, cases of it. But here's the disturbing part, he made us collect semen in cups afterward. Said it was tribute to Biggie, some kind of ritual. It wasn't about pleasure, it was never about pleasure. It was about power, about degradation, about breaking people down until they were nothing. Asterisk 50 Cent. Voiceover almost amused. Man filmed his own downfall, had cameras running during everything. In trying to control everybody else, he created the evidence that would destroy him. That's poetic justice right there. Anonymous juror. Face obscured, voice distorted. The racketeering charges? We couldn't find enough evidence of an organized criminal enterprise. But the prostitution charges, the transporting people across state lines for those free coughs, the coercion, that evidence was overwhelming. The videos alone were damning. Narrator. 50 months, 4 years and 2 months. Release date May 2028. The screen shows Diddy in an orange jumpsuit. Handcuffs click shut around his wrists. Behind him, the Bad Boy logo appears on a cracked screen before shattering completely. Defense attorney Mark Agnifilo. Press conference outside courthouse. My client maintains his innocence. We will appeal this verdict. Sean Combs is not the monster the media has portrayed. Prosecutor Sarah KRSSOFF. This case was about accountability. For too long, wealth and fame provided a shield. Today, justice prevailed. Don Richard. Speaking to reporters. I hope this gives courage to everyone still trapped in silence. Your voice matters, your truth matters. Narrator. Final words measured and heavy. He told the world to take that while building an empire. He said if you blink, the king would be gone. We blinked, and he was, but not in the way he imagined. The king didn't disappear into legend. He disappeared behind bars, his empire crumbling, his legacy stained forever by the voices he tried to silence. The screen fades to black, complete silence for 5 seconds. Then, barely audible, a woman's voice whispers. Cassie Ventura. Archival audio asterisk. I'm finally free. Fade to black, credits roll in silence.